Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So today we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, chapter 3, text 11. So Srimad Bhagavad Gita, chapter 3, text 11. Karma Yoga. Devan Bhavaya Tanena, Devan Bhavaya Tanena, Te Deva Bhavayantu Va, Parasparam Bhavayanta, Shreya Param Avapasyata, Devan Bhavayatanena, Te Deva Bhavayantu Va, Parasparam Bhavayanta, Shreya Param Avapsyata, Devam Bhavayatanena, Te Deva Bhavayantu Va, Parasparam Bhavayanta, Shreya Param Avapsyata. Devam Bhavayatanena, Devanavayatanena, Te Deva Bhavayantu Va, Parasparam Bhavayanta, Shreya Param Avapsyata. Devam Bhavayatanena, Te Deva Bhavayantu Va, Parasparam Bhavayanta, Shreya Param Avapsyata. Devam Bhavayatanena, Te Deva Bhavayantu Va, Parasparam Bhavayanta, Shreya Param Avapsyata. Mataji's Devam Bhavayatanena, Te Deva Bhavayantu Va, Parasparam Bhavayanta, Shreya Param Avapsyata. Devam Bhavayatanena, Te Deva Bhavayantu Va, Parasparam Bhavayanta, Shreya Param Avapsyata. Devam Bhavayatanena, Te Deva Bhavayantu Va, Parasparam Bhavayanta, Shreya Param Avapsyata. Devam demigods, Bhavayataha, having pleased, Anena, by this sacrifice, Te, those, Deva, demigods, Bhavayantu, will please, Vaha, you, Parasparam, mutually, Bhavayantaha, pleasing one another, Shreya, benediction, Param, the supreme, Avapsyataha, you will achieve. Translation and purport given by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Translation: the demigods, being pleased by sacrifices, will also please you, and thus, by cooperation between men and demigods, prosperity will reign for all. Please repeat after me. The demigods, being pleased by sacrifices, will also please you. And thus, by cooperation between men and demigods, prosperity will reign for all. Purport. The demigods are empowered administrators of material affairs, the support of air, light, water, and all other benedictions for maintaining the body and soul of every living entity is entrusted to the demigods, who are innumerable assistants in different parts of the body of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Their pleasures and displeasures are dependent on the performance of yagnas by the human being. Some of the yagnas are meant to satisfy particular demigods, but even in so doing, Lord Vishnu is worshipped in all yagnas as a chief beneficiary. It is stated also in the Bhagavad Gita that Krishna himself is a beneficiary of all kinds of Vedas, yagnas, Bhoktaram Yagna Tapasam. Therefore, ultimate satisfaction of the Yagnapati is the chief purpose of all yagnas. When these yagnas are perfectly performed, naturally the demigods in charge of the different departments of supply are pleased, and there is no scarcity in the supply of natural products. Performance of yagnas has many side benefits, ultimately leading to liberation from material bondage. By performance of yagnas, all activities become purified. As it is stated in the Vedas, ahara sadhau sattva siddhi sattva sudhau dhruva smriti smriti lambhe sarva grantinam vipramuksha. By performance of yagna, one's eatables become sanctified, and by eating sanctified foodstuffs, one's very existence becomes purified. By the purification of one's existence, finer tissues in the memory become sanctified. And when one's memory is sanctified, one can think of the path of liberation. And all these combined together lead to Krishna consciousness, the great necessity of present-day society. ओम अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुर्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपं कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरु श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरुवैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सगुणललित रघुनाथं वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादं सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमोस्तुते। तप्तकाञ्चन गौराङ्गे श्रीराधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवसादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna. First of all, I would like to apologize for any mistakes I would make today, as it's my first time. So I would like to apologize for any mistakes. So yeah, let's start. So in this shloka, Krishna is stating about like a yagna ladder. So it's like we'll get to know about all the yagnas, all the types of yagnas. So Krishna starts with the lowest type of yagna, which is the karma kanda, which is the ritualistic activities which is offered from the Vedas. So karma kanda is like sacrifice which is done for selfish reasons or selfish desires. So it's just like when a person goes to one demigod or another demigod, and they give something in order to get their desired results. So it's like one to one. Like it's like if you give something, you get something. So it's mostly done for results or desired results. So over here it's In the shloka it says, Devan bhavayatanena, the demigods being pleased by sacrifices, te deva bhavayantu vaha, will also please you. So this means it's like a business. So like if you please them, they will please you. But we must understand that this business is temporary. Whatever results we get is temporary. It's not permanent. As Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita 7.23, Antavattu phalam tesham tad bhavati alpamedasam. Men with small intelligence worship the demigods, and the fruits are limited and temporary. Demigods themselves are actually temporary, as there it's like a post or like a position. A person may stay in a position for 20 years, 30 years, but there is a limited time. There is a time where he'll be removed from that position. So demigods are the same thing, that they cannot give results that are permanent as they themselves are not permanent. So we could get a very beautiful example as Hiranyakashipu. He asked Lord Brahma to make him immortal. But Lord Brahma himself said, I am not immortal myself. How can I make you immortal? I am mortal. So we must understand that demigods are temporary. So whatever we get from them is temporary. And obviously, all of us need something that's permanent, that's always going to stick with us, which is going to stay with us. So we must understand that. Also in the Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada gives a very beautiful quotation. The demigods are empowered administrators of material affairs, the supply of air, light, water, and all other benedictions for maintaining the body and soul of every living entity is entrusted to the demigods. So this means that demigods are not independent. Over here they say they're empowered administrators. So that means Prabhupada also gives a very beautiful example where he says that Krishna is like the government. And all these other demigods are like the ministers, yeah? So obviously, the government is not the one who's doing all the work. He's telling the minister to do this. Example, there's a minister of health, there's a minister of wealth, like all the stuff. So the government gives them the jobs, the appropriate works to do, and the ministers are the ones who do the work. So yeah, so the ministers are the ones who do the work. And some people, some foolish people who may think that the ministers are the only ones who are providing, that's not how it is. Because once the government tells them to stop providing, they will stop providing. Because they have nothing else to do. Because they are, at the end of the day, under the control of the government. So yeah, that's what we're trying to understand over here. But it's not like they're like under Krishna, it's like they are authorized servants of Krishna, they're devotees of Krishna. As there are many examples we can get, as people may ask, okay, if you're saying that every other demigod is under Krishna, so give some examples. A few examples over here, like in Brahma Samhita, Brahmaji says, Ishvara Parama Krishna. Krishna is the God. Krishna is Ishvara. So that means, yeah, yes, Krishna is the supreme God. So that means Brahmaji is accepting that Krishna is superior to him. Also, in Srimad Bhagavatam, it says that Vaishnavam Yathashambhu. Shivji is the greatest of Vaishnavas. That means Shivji accepts Krishna as a superior. He is a devotee of Krishna. Also, as Durga Devi, in Brahma Samhita, Brahmaji says, Shayava yasya bhuvanani vibharti Durga ichhanu rupam api chestasya sa. This means that Durga Devi acts under the will of Lord Govinda or Krishna. She is obviously worshipped by the people. She's the one who's controlling or maintaining the material world, but she works under the will of Krishna. So we must understand that. And over here, this Papat is talking like great things about how this karma kanda is like it has benefits. Over here it says, performance of yagnas has many side benefits, which which over here it says in the which means, okay, it has many side benefits which can take you to liberation and remove you from material bondage. But if you keep on reading the purpose, there is a long method. It starts from sanctifying foodstuffs to purifying the memory, the tissues in the brain, and all of this stuff. It's a long process, and it says after all of this, one can think of the path of liberation. After all of this, one can think of the path of liberation. So it means that whatever yagna karma kanda is doing, obviously at the end of the day, it will come up to liberation. But the chances are very little. We don't know how many lifetimes it takes, how many births it's going to take. And even after all of that, one will think of the path of liberation. So, Krishna says in Bhagavatam 11.5.32, Yagna Sankirtana Prayer Yajanti Hi Sumedasa. This means that all of these, okay, it means, so, which, so, all of these yagnas, all of these type of yagnas are not guaranteed. None of them are guaranteed. So Krishna says that Hare Krishna Yagna, the Sankirtana Yagna, is recommended for this yuga, first of all, because it's like the fastest way and it's the most easiest yagna. Because if you start doing other yagnas which are given in the Karma Kanda, it's going to take so long. Like people like Hiranyakashipu and all of these sages back in the day, they used to like worship, like do yagnas for 1,000 years. Over here we get around 70 years and then it's all gone. Yeah. So Hare Krishna, the Sankirtana movement is the fastest and the easiest yagna, which is pleasing to Krishna and the demigods. Which means that Krishna is the root cause for all of these demigods. As it's also said again in Srimad Bhagavatam, Yatha Taror Mula Nischanena, which means by watering the roots, all the leaves, the flowers, all of them will be satisfied. Because if you just water the leaves, like obviously the leaves won't be good. There must be a root which you're supposed to water, so that's how everything will be satisfied. So similarly, serving Krishna pleases all the demigods. And there might be another thing where the 33 koti demigods, there's so many types of demigods that if you go to one demigod, you start pleasing them, the other demigod will get angry. And if you start pleasing the other demigod will get angry. So it's like you cannot serve all the demigods at once. There are too many demigods. So the best way is to just water the roots, to serve Krishna, and all of them will be happy. So yeah. So also in the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Aham hi sarva yagyanam bhokta cha prabhureva cha. I'm the only master and lord of all sacrifices. That means that he's the only enjoyer of all sacrifices. And if you do sacrifices to other demigods, it's not like you will get sins, but you will still be materially bonded. As over here it is said, I think so. It was, yeah, 3.9, it says that work done as sacrifice for Vishnu has to be performed, otherwise work causes bondage in this material world. So whatever yagna, whatever work you do has to be performed as a sacrifice for Vishnu. Otherwise, it's a bondage. As if you do yagnas, it's like a bank balance. Your karma is like a bank balance. If you do bad stuff, it will go in debts. If you do good stuff or pious activities like charity or yagnas to demigods, it will go up. But still, the bank balance is still there. So you have to still come back to this world, back to this material world, in order to finish that bank balance. And when you start finishing the bank balance, you keep on adding it. So that means that in order to get rid of this bank balance, in order to get rid of these karmic reactions, we must do our work or our sacrifices for Lord Krishna, Lord Vishnu. It has to be performed for them. Otherwise, it's going to materially bond us, no matter what we try. So, after all of this, in this purpose, Prabhupada is just trying to say, or Krishna is just trying to say, that there must be a mutual cooperation between us and the demigods. As, as there was a beautiful example given, that demigods are like big brothers, Krishna is like the father, and we are like the jivas are like the small brothers. So obviously, you you have to respect the big brother. But you know, your father, the person, your seed giving father, is your actual father, or Krishna. But you must respect the demigods. If you don't do, Krishna himself won't be happy. Because obviously you're not respecting the people who are dear to him also. Because demigods are also devotees of Krishna. So that means that we must respect the demigods for who they are. And whenever we go to a demigod, we must ask them, please give us Krishna's bhakti. That's the only desire we must have for demigods. And so, whatever these demigods, so the mutual cooperation should happen over there. And obviously, the demigods are providing us with all these basic necessities. So obviously, we must do something to, offer them back. So the best way is to serve Krishna, to water the roots. So the best way is to do that. And there's a big problem in this world where people mostly just want benefits and they don't want to do without giving out anything, like enjoying the nature. Like they enjoy all these basic necessities without providing anything back. So Krishna also says in Bhagavad Gita 3.2, no, 3.12, but he who enjoys such gifts without offering them to the demigods or Krishna in return is certainly a thief. So that means we must return something back. Otherwise, we're just enjoying without giving out anything. Because at the end of the day, it's like a business. So the best is to serve Krishna in order to give back all the pleasure to the demigods. So if we don't do that, we'll be called as thieves, as Krishna says over here. So at the end of the day, we must understand that Krishna is the real enjoyer, and all of these demigods are there to be respected, and all of them are devotees who are way higher than us. We have no comparison to them. Jai Shri Shri Rukmani Gari Gari Bhagavan Shri Shri Sita Ram Lakshman Bhakta Hanuman Shri Shri Gaurnita Shri Prabhupada Ki Jai. So we must understand that we must respect all of these demigods, as all of them are higher in devotional service. No matter what background, okay, no matter what, if they're enjoying in the heavenly planets, but they're still higher than us, they're still devoted to Krishna. So we must respect them, and we must understand that Krishna is a real enjoyer. And we must perform the right yagna at the right age, at the right age, which is Kali Yuga. And the yagna, the best yagna which is given is Harinam Sankirtana. Yeah. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Nantara Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Any questions?